I'm jumping back on the skid plate for the JK. Unfortunately, the factory one was so rusted out that the Artec aluminum skid plate would not fit over the top of it. So I bought a brand new one. I just have to modify the end here, cut this off. I'm going to take the aluminum one, set it over the top. There's a few holes I need to drill. The aluminum skid plate bolts to the factory steel one in a few spots. So I'm going to get going on that right now. So the way this works, there's a couple brackets that bolt in right here and tie into the factory mounting location. And then back here, I got a hole back here, two on this side that I have to drill into the skid plate and bolt it up there as well. I think what I'm going to do is grab the Artec brackets that go right here. I'm going to bolt them to this so I can actually get it nice and centered, located on there. And then I can tie this all together, clamp it down a little bit. It sits on there good, so I'll drill these holes and get my mounting holes all done before I put it underneath the Jeep. So I always try and start off with a transfer punch so I get nice and centered in the hole. Drill with a smaller drill bit as a pilot hole and come back with the bigger one. Then my bigger drill bit doesn't walk this way. When I do it, I want to do one at a time so I can get a bolt in here and hold it in place. There. It's a lot easier to do stuff like that when it's out of the vehicle. Next step, I get to try and pull that factory skid plate out. It should be fun. So one other thing I had to do to the skid plate is move this over a little bit to clear my exhaust. I got the exhaust coming through right here, so it would hit it by about an inch. So I moved it over about 1.5 inches. Give me a little bit of space. I made a little plate here that I'm going to take and weld in. Got it fitted nicely. I'm going to take and weld that in, paint it up quick before I put it in there. All this is just a lot easier to do on the bench. A whole lot of dirt and rust from above that skid plate. All right. So, put a couple straps underneath the gas tank and got the skid plate off. Now I just got to put the new one in. All right, skid plate is in. Wasn't too bad. most of the problem was just getting the straps underneath the tank. Once I got that handled, the rest of it went pretty good. There was a whole lot of dirt above that thing, so I'm kind of glad I replaced it just to get rid of all that. And now it's got rid of all the rust. It's a nice clean skid plate under there. So tomorrow I will put the other plate in the engine skid plate. So I have to come and cut this out because this is rubbing up against my oil pan. You know, it's meant for that V6. I moved the LS engine over to the passenger side some. That skid plate would have worked if I centered the engine, but I got to move it over so far. So I'm just gonna cut it out, re-weld in some supports. Here's the other skid plate I got to put in. This one will just bolt in, no problem whatsoever. I'll get everything Loctited up, and then that's another thing checked off the list. But for now, I'm calling it a night. I'm gonna go grab some food. See you tomorrow. Back in the garage, I'm gonna finish up my skid plate real quick. I'm gonna bolt up the transfer case skid plate. I got the gas tank one put in, and then I'm gonna take and cut out this, bend it out, weld it back up, and then I can get that put in. And then that project is done off my plate, and I would be able to start using this thing off-road again. So I'm gonna get to it. Wow, doesn't want to go in. All right. There we go. All right. Tightened up a bit, maybe. Let's grab a ratchet. All right, that's snugged up. Now I just need to tighten these up fully, and the back section's on the transfer case skid plate. I'll add that bolt yet. I think I gotta pop these out, put some Loctite on them. But now it's starting to look really good. It's gonna give me a nice flat belly and protect the drive shaft up here. I like it. So I mocked up this engine skid plate real quick, and this is what I'm talking about. Right up here, it's hard to see, but up here it's actually rubbing up against the skid plate right in that area. So I'm going to take, the back is okay, so I'm just going to cut the front here and along here, and I'm going to bend this whole thing out about 1/4 inch or so, and then I'm going to fill it in and just re-weld it. That's my next step. That should work. I'm going to go test fit it real quick. Make sure that's plenty of clearance, and then I just got to cut out some pieces to weld in there. All right, there it is. All welded up, sanded down, nice and smooth. Not the greatest work, but it'll definitely hold up. Plenty good for what it is. So I'm now gonna get this thrown under there. When I put it in before, it looks like the brackets I got going from my engine mount down to the skid plate might be just a hair too short. I might have to just cut them off and re-weld them. But I'm gonna throw it under there and find out. Well, there it is. Skid plate's all installed. Nice flat belly now. These worked out good. I still got a little bit of room in between the oil pan and the skid plate, so I didn't need to extend these like I thought I did. But for now, I'm calling it a day.